class. How are we all doing today? Did you have a good weekend? Yeah? What'd you do this weekend? Saw a movie? What movie? Ooh, Avengers. I love the Avengers. Marvel movies, top notch. Alright class, today we're going to be talking about jobs. Does everybody know what a job is? That's right, it's what your mom and dad do while you're at school. Job is what you do all day to make money. So let's start off together with an example exercise before we move on into the full lesson. So let's turn to page 14, activity A. So as you can see, there's 4 boxes with pictures in them, and there's 4 descriptions of different jobs. So let's go together. Which box do you think is a teacher? Yeah? That's right. It's box number 2. Now, which one is a doctor? Right. It's box number 1. Now how can you tell that? That's right. He's got the thingy around his neck. Does anybody know what that's called? It's a stethoscope. So a stethoscope is the thing that he puts in his ears and listens to your heart with. Very good. Now which box would be the police officer? Box 3, that's correct. You can see him in his police car. And which is the pilot then? Right. Box 4. You can see his pilot's uniform on him. Now, do any of you know anybody with these jobs? Oh, is your uncle a pilot? Oh, that's great. Does he travel a lot? Yeah, I'll bet he does. That's fantastic. And, yep, that's right. I'm a teacher too. Yeah. Great job, guys. Alright, so let's move to the next page. And you'll see there's part B and C are very similar to part A. But in part B, there's 4 different places in the boxes and 4 descriptions of places to the side that you have to match. And with part C, there's 4 different things that they're doing and descriptions on the side. So why don't we all take a minute, work with your partner, and match up the description with the box. Alright, everybody's done? Great. So let's start with B. Which box do we think is the hospital? Yep. Box 4. No, I don't think it's quite box 4. That's a good guess. Do we have another guess? Box 1. That's correct. And how can we tell that? It just looks like a hospital. That's true. There's another clue though. I don't know if you all know this word, but it says emergency across the top. An emergency is when something really bad happens. You break your arm or you get in a car crash and you need to go to the hospital right away. So when you have an emergency and you're really hurt, you go to the hospital. Good job, guys. Now which one is the police station? Yeah? That's right, it's box number 2. And we can see that because it says police right at the top. Good job, guys. Now which one is the school? That's right, it's box 4. And which one is the airport? That's right, it's box 3. We can see the airplanes out back. So who works in all these places? How about the hospital? A doctor, correct? Police station? Police officer. Very good. At a school? A teacher. And at the airport, a pilot. Fantastic. Good job, guys. Let's move on to part C. So here we have 4 pictures of people doing things, and then a description down at the back, down the side of what they're doing. So, flies planes. Which picture do we think that is? That's right, it's box 4. We can see them down here in their plane. And who is it that flies planes? It's a pilot. Great job. Help sick people? That's box 1. Very good. And who is that in the box? It's a doctor. Fantastic, guys. You're doing great. Teaches students. Which box is that? That's correct. It's box 2. And who teaches? A teacher. Fantastic, guys. And finally, who catches thieves? That's right, down here in box 3, where we can see the thief being caught. And who is that catching him? A police officer. Well done, class. Let's move on to the next page. It's two more exercises, but here we're just matching a question and an answer. So in part A, there's 2 questions and 2 answers. In exercise B, you have to match these answers up here to the questions below the picture. Alright, I'll give you guys a few minutes. Alright, we're all done? Fantastic. So for part A, which picture do you think matches the question, what is he? Yeah? Very good. The second picture matches what is he. And how can we tell that? It's because it has he in it. So what is he? He is a scientist. So he means a male, a boy or a man. When you point at somebody, you can say he if it's a man. And so here we see the scientist is a man. So what is he? He is a scientist. Very good. And so that makes what is her job? That matches up to the first picture. Very good. What is her job? She's a vet. So her job means it's a lady who owns the job. And then she, for a female, she's a vet. What's that? What's a vet? A vet is a veterinarian, and a vet is just an animal doctor. Alright, good job, class. How about part B? Let's talk about what people do. He bakes bread. Which picture does that line up to, class? That's right, it's the first picture. So what does a baker do? He bakes bread. So how do we know that's the right one? Because a baker is somebody who bakes. Very good. A chef makes food in a restaurant. So that goes then to the second one. What does a chef do? A chef makes food in a restaurant. So here we can see that the question is asking about a chef, and the answer has a chef in it. So those two match up. Great job, class. So parts C and D on the next page are similar. That same kind of question. Let's split up into pairs again and do that. Alright, everybody's done? Fantastic. So for part C, where does the cashier work? Which one of these two answers do you think matches that question? That's right, it's the second one. She works in a supermarket. And how do we know that's the right answer? That's right, because the cashier is the person who takes your money and rings up your items for you. Very good. The second one, where do you work? That's correct. It matches this first picture. And how can you tell that? It's because where do you work? If I say that and I'm looking at you, it means I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about another person. Whereas with the cashier, I wouldn't call you the cashier. I'm talking about somebody else there. So when I ask, where do you work? You respond, I work at a fire station. Great job, class. So part D, let's talk about you. So for this one, you would have to fill in what you wanted to do, as well as match the answers. So what do you want to be? Which one is that? That's right, it's the second one. As we can see, I want to be. And what do you want to be? An astronaut. Wow, that would be a lot of fun. I can't imagine going into space. That would be great. Good job, guys. And B, where do you want to work? Yep. You want to work in a laboratory? Oh, wow. You want to be a scientist then? That's fantastic. And here we can see that B matches the first one. Because where do you want to work? And I want to work in. Work in is answering the where question. Fantastic. Great job, guys. Let's move to the next page. And on the next page, there's a picture here. I want you and your partner to look at the picture and just talk about it with each other for a little bit. We want to see, just write down any words that you can think of when you look at this picture. Then there's a few specific questions to ask here. And then we'll discuss it as a class. Alright. Everybody's good? Great. So, what kind of words did this picture make you guys think of? A hat? Yep, he's got a hat on. A glove? Yeah, so we call them oven mitts. So a mitten is like a glove, but the fingers are all attached. And so an oven mitt, an oven mitten, he's using the oven mitt. Very good, guys. Let's move on to part B. Let's answer some questions. What is this man's job? He's a baker. Very good. And where does he work? That's right, a baker works in a bakery. We saw that just on the other page. What does he do? Well, that's right, he bakes. A teacher teaches, a baker bakes. Very good, guys. What other things can you see in the picture? We already mentioned the hat and the oven mitts. He's got on an apron. Very good. And he's working in an oven. That's fantastic, guys. And what is he making? Bread. Very good. Bakers make bread. Could he be making anything else? Cakes. Very good. Bakers make cakes too. Anything you put in the oven and leave for a while is something you bake. Very good, guys. Is there anything else we see in the picture? That's right. He needs the oven mitt because it's very hot. Good work, guys. That was fantastic. We got one last lesson to look at, and it's a little bit more confusing. So there's a chart that tells you what students want to be when they grow up. So first, just look at the percentages and describe the chart with each other, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Part B has 2 specific questions, but we'll do those after we talk about the chart in general. Alright, everybody's done? Great. So, what do the percentages on the chart mean? Can anybody tell me that? That's right, percentages tell you how many of the people want to do each of these jobs. A percentage is just like a fraction. It's just how much of the pie does each part take up. So we can see that 3% of students want to be teachers. So if there were 100 people, 3% means 3 out of 100. 3 of them would want to be teachers. Very good, guys. So let's move on to part B. Which job choice is the most popular? That's right, guys. It's pilots. 36%, over a third of people, this big chunk of the pie, really want to be pilots, and who can blame them? I want to travel all over. That sounds fantastic. Now, which job is the least popular? That's right, it's scientists. They're only 2%. So, very few people really want to be scientists. You're one of the few wanting to work in a laboratory. Alright, does anybody have any questions about the chart? Do we all sort of understand percentages? Wow, no questions. Alright guys, thanks so much for having such a good lesson today. That was fantastic. I'll see you guys later. Have a good afternoon.